you We are down to the business end of the Skyview Girls Schools Cricket Week Tournament. Down to the final four. 20 teams came in this tournament, but now we are down to the last four. An interesting clash on the cards. Last year's finalists, Late Secondary School, will be squaring off against Mount St. Henry's High School. Mount St. Henry's High School made their debut in this tournament last year, but they have put up a very good performance. Yesterday they defeated the Central Regional Champions, St. John's Secondary School, in the morning, and in the afternoon they defeated the Nelo Region Champions, Jinja Secondary School, to book a place in the semi-finals. And now here they are taking on Late Secondary School. Late Secondary School won this trophy for the first time in 2024. Tournament which was played in Sorority City. And in this tournament, they have the highest score of the tournament. They also have the player who had the highest individual figures as a batter, Masatres Kongai. And now here we come for an exciting clash. The two umpires standing in this game, the female umpire Gloria Obuko standing alongside Mike Okoth. And my name is Evan Cyprian Sajabi here in the comms. I will be joined in by Fortunate Alijin to tell you the beautiful stories. But Shizani Akidi and Masatres Kongai are the opening batters for Late Secondary School, whereas again Rot Shatra will be opening the bowling for Mount St. Henry's. The news that came from the center in terms of the toss. Late won the toss and opted to bat first. They'll be now hoping that they can get a total on board that they can come and defend. But here we are, just moments away from seeing the first ball of this game. A big shout out to the sponsors of this tournament: Skyview, Movie Products Limited, Schoolies, not forgetting Batboy Uganda Limited. But here we are for the first ball. Shatra again wrote. Good start. Putting the bat and the wickets into play already. An electric field here this afternoon. Down the ground, a creamer. And off the mark, Susan Akidi, the wicket-keeper batter. There was some work to do there for Nachanzis Kovia. And it's the left-right combination in to open the batting for Late Secondary School. An interesting passage of play. The chairman for Sorority Cricket Academy, Felix Musana, is right here with us in Gulu City, watching the proceedings from the teams that come from his academy. Beautifully bowled there by Shatra again. Wrote a lot of passion being displayed by the Mount St. Henry's high school players. Masatres Kongai hitting one down the ground. She has the highest individual score in the tournament, and it was right at this very ground against St. Cornelius SS Kalagala. She scored 110 runs, and no one has come out to beat that record. She will be hoping that she can score runs and make sure that Late Secondary School gets runs that they can come out and defend. That's a no ball, and it will roll all the way to the boundary. 5 runs added onto the total with a free hit coming up. Shatra again trying to go for express pace, and in the end, the ball getting out of her hands. It will be now a free hit and a chance for Kongai to, I beg your pardon, Susan Akidi to capitalize. Free hit coming up for Late Secondary School. Tries to hit out of the blocks, but she doesn't make any contact, going hard before looking at where that ball was. And it is a dot ball for Mount St. Henry's. The free hit goes unpunished. Final ball of the over. She'll have to ball it again as that's wide down the leg. Shatra trying to swing it backwards to the batter, but she somehow misses her line. Again, the outswing there from Shatra again wrote. She will need to make sure that she bowls straight and make sure that she doesn't give her women runs. Runs are already flowing for Late Secondary School. They have 9. Pick outside edge, and they will take the single. That single will bring us to the end of the over. 10 runs coming off the first over, and the scoreboard reads 10 for no loss after the first. Welcome to the Combs Fortunate. An interesting passage of play here at Laibi Main Ground. But what do you make of the proceedings so far?
Thank you very much, Ivan. Good afternoon. A really good and interesting game it is at this stage, given that we are into the semi-finals, and we've seen the toss is yet to determine so much into this game, given that Mount St. Henry's has really been good defending the runs, but today losing the toss and being asked to bowl first, it will determine so much into how many runs they go on and restrict Late SS2. But we saw how that first over from Chetra went on, going for 10 runs, but 3 off the bat, 7 were extras. So it tells you how good their bowling has to be, because Late SS isn't a team that you have to give so many runs on board, because they have a very good bowling attack, but runs will come the way they come for Late SS, and they will try as much as possible to also score some good runs.
Susan Akidi 6 of 6, and Masitres Kongai 1 of 2. Jacqueline Nampamu, the bowling change for Mount St. Henry's High School. Hit down the ground and beautifully fielded there by Jacqueline Nampam. And it is a second dot ball in the over for Jacqueline.
Players from Ginger Senior Secondary School that didn't go through the group stages as Super 8, watching from our side. But I tell you, the way how the left-hander Susan is playing the drive shot out of the middle of the bat, you see she's playing with confidence. but extras are coming so often for Mount St. Henry's. In your frame, Simon Kintu, the development officer Mukono development, and he has done a great job for Mukono and is a key umpire in the cricket circle of Uganda. Having two different players in the middle there for late SS. And that's the dugout for late SS, who won the toss and opted to go with the bat. Talking about the batting differences, the right hand and the left hand on strike. It always doesn't work so well for the fielding team. You also have to bring in some different specific bowlers that will bowl to different plans. But most times you have seen fielders hanging a little bit around with those batting changes. But already Nampoma doing a decent job to bowl to the two solid batters, Mercy and Susan, and finishing up her over with only 1 run from it. Good over it is for Mount St. Henry's. The moment to come back into the game after suffering 10 in the first, and 11 it is after 2 overs.
There was some damage made in the first over. Jacqueline Nampamukema knew that the only task she had was to try and make sure that she doesn't leak many. She made some good amendments for Shatra Agenrot, who went for 10 in her first. And now Agenrot is back to bowl her second over from the Juba Road end. She starts off with a dot ball. That's much better. She has been looking for that in swing, just to make sure that she puts the bats into play. And that's the driver for Mount St. Henry's, Mr. Abdu, standing with one of the female teachers here in the tournament. He's been doing a lot of good work, making sure that the teams move around the different pitches within Gulu City. Down the ground, another dot ball, much better there from Shatra.
She has really been bowling so well, having some decent pace, though she was troubled with the lane in the first over, giving no ball for 5 no balls, and that makes her down the leg. And later on she did so well, only 3 runs came off the bat.
And this is a much better over there from Shatra Agenrot. She was going for express pace. That's why she even released the one poor and it went to the boundary. That no ball, but she's made some good comeback. That is an edge. The thick outside edge running to the boundary. Work for Jacqueline Nampam to do. There is a run out chance, but the batters do reach their ground safe and dry.
Another good running between the wickets there. The non-striker, rather Susan, realizing that she's the one coming back to the danger end. As soon as she reached the non-strike end, she didn't hesitate. She turned and took the second. She was really committed to taking the 2 runs.
In a game where you're not seeing so many boundaries, you need to back up your running between the wickets. Much better from Shatra Agenrot. Good comeback, and it's a dot ball. Mount St. Henry's High School making sure that they try as much as they can to contain the game. And now it will be a task for late SS to make sure that they hit out of the blocks, get runs, and make sure that they advance to the finals. A little fall and driven down the ground. There was a run out chance, but it wasn't taken. And a single to end the over. 3 runs from the third over. And 14 for Nolos is the score after 3 overs. Nampam Jacqueline is back to bowl her second over. Just 1 run from her first, and now she comes back. Good wheels on her, good areas, just keeps feeding the bat. She was part of that team that played for the Mukono cricket community during that Northern Invitation Tournament for the under-17 girls in 2024. All the games are played at this ground, so it tells you that Jacqueline, who has ever played here, and she knows a thing or two with what the ground will be doing. Hit straight to her hands, but the ball goes through. Jacqueline Nampam not getting hold onto that chance. Susan Akidi nearly gave away her wicket.
I tell you, that was an easy catch to take, but it's always never expected. Jacqueline not expecting the ball on that occasion, and the chance goes begging there.
She comes a little full, but I love that fact that Jackie Nampam keeps feeding your bat. She keeps bowling a bit of a volley. I tell you, the ball she's bowling, if it was in men's cricket, all those would be boundaries. But because that's not a very good hitting area for the ladies, they don't always open up their blades. Every time you keep bowling there, you get dirty balls. And she goes pace off. That's good work there. Good fielding. Mount St. Henry is not giving away anything easy.
10 runs already for Susan. She has really been confident driving down the ground. But the bowling for Jacqueline is really seeming to be good at the moment. A good over in the making. Only 1 ball left. Finish up her second over. She has always bowled stump to stump. She has not strayed away from her stumps on any one occasion.
Final ball of the over, and it is a creamer straight to the fielder. Good fielding there by Kevin Aya. End of the over. Brilliant over there for Mount St. Henry's High School. A maiden over. And after 14 for Nolos is the score.
Two batters for late SS. A Centurion there in your frame, who is struggling at the moment. Already first 5, but has scored 1 run. Even that game where she scored 100, she took her time to build her innings. And now again wrote Shatra coming for her fourth, for her third, and this time round on the offside. And races the boundary chase zone from the deep third man, putting in a very good throw, and they take only 2 runs.
Yeah, Mistress Kongai going to drive on that occasion, but in the end not crossing the line of the ball. Just an outside edge into the outfield past Lamaro. Gloria, who is a study, at the short third, and a chance for 2 runs. Brilliant there from Shatra again, just bowling stump to stump and making sure that she's forcing her to play down the ground.
Tell you, Ivan, I love the application of these 2 batters, Susan and Mercy. The way how they have coped up with that stump to stump line. I've seen them lunge forward for the defense, and I tell you, they have really looked beautiful playing the defense shot. After they are trying to bowl it outside the lane of the stumps. Maybe again try and induce an outside edge. But they really wide off field there. So much gap. It's only a matter of timing it in the space. And there is always some run awaiting around the corner. Tell you for five fielders on the offside. And only 3 on the onside. Make them 6 on the offside with the third man. She doesn't finish up her action there. She just comes and bowls and breaks straight away. Not using the non-bowling hand there to direct the lane. And in the end, she gives in an extra. Yesterday, Chetra bowled so well against Ginger, where Mount St. Henry's saw Ginger falling out of the group stages. Another single there, taken round the corner, an open face there, and running it down the ground for another single. Singles have really come so easily for these two batters, like we've seen with so many power plays. Not so many runs have come out of the power play.
Some brilliant work there being done by the batters, making sure that late doesn't get on some sorts of pressure. But the only issue for Shatra is overcompensating. She's giving away so many wides because she's trying to make sure that she forces the batters into playing. But she could just seamlessly be bowling outside of stump and continue picking those dirty balls. But she's trying to angle the ball back for both batters.
Yeah, she had picked her lane against the right-hander. Now with the left hand on straight, she doesn't get it quite well in the start. And with one more ball left in her bowling of this over, that could be a really good length there, really good length. Maybe the wicket keeper can get something out of that. But a good ball to finish up the over. 5 runs from it, 19 after 5 is the score.
It's an afternoon with semi-finals. High School taking on Sacred Heart Secondary School from the Gulu High main ground. Whereas in the Plate League, there are also other semi-finals that are happening. Sorot SS is taking on St. Teresa at Laibi B, whereas St. James SS is taking on St. Cornelius at Laibi C. We'll be giving you the updates coming in from those games. Nampamu Jacqueline back into the attack. A little further there. There is a run-out chance. But that throw there from Catherine Mbinduli. A bit sluggish. Maset Tracy Kongai nearly running herself into traffic.
Even that was clearly a run not taken. A chance to pick up a run out there for Mount St. Henry's. But in the end, also, the fielder was called napping for some time. But Mercy will be so happy that she came back into the crease in time.
Final ball to end the power play. What this over means is that after this over, Mount St. Henry's will have 4 fielders on the boundaries. But we've not seen so many boundaries coming in the power play. Only one no ball that went for 4. Closing in on her blade, Masetrese Kongai. And it is another dirty ball. Brilliant areas being bowled by Jacqueline Nampamu. She is at the back of a maiden in her previous over. Now she started with 2 dirty balls.
She's really bowling so well, and now she's giving hard time to Mercy. I would love to see Mercy get off streak and go on the non-streak to take time to think about how the innings are going to her side. And if you go on the non-streak, you get some time to cool that pressure off your shoulders.
She just needs to use her wrist and put it into the gap, then she takes the run. And another issue there for the non-strikers batter, Susan Akidi. She tends not to be taking any start. She is stuck in her crease.
Real good observation even there. If you see her, she's even leaning on the bat. It shows you that she isn't at any time taking the run or trying to make sure that she gets the run if there is a chance. And in your frame there, Mercy Centurion, the only Centurion in this tournament. It is number 10. She's into the batting charts. Topping that list is Melissa Raycott. And she's also in there for late SS. Better lanes there from Jacqueline, getting an extra bounce off the surface. I tell you, she has really been so busy in there, getting maidens. Now this one is also poised for one. And there it is, the second maiden. And if you see the scoring cards for Badov is done with 19 runs on board, power play done. Till even Sacred Heart hasn't really had so many runs scored in this tournament. 50 for 3 they scored against Sacred Heart today. Then went on to score 84 against Masaka. They also scored 47 against Masindi, and also went on to score 72 against Soroti Secondary School, but the highest was 219, 16 against Kasese Secondary School.
Bowling change for Mount St. Henry's High School. Catherine Mbindule in the attack. She starts with a very loose ball that could have been hit anywhere, and she will be lucky that she went out with it. But I love the intent and approach there from Susan Akidi, trying to hit it as it went down the leg.
Yeah, she showed the intent there, but only she needed to stay down a little longer. She raised so early. She played from the up, but Mbindule making the corrections now, bowling to the with the offside, bowling it way outside the wickets there. The little field settings for the captain, rested behind the stumps. She sees the angle so well.
We'll be seeing her bowl later in the match. Junior cricket, you come and keep open the batting and also bowl some few overs. And I tell you, at the time when she will be coming in to bowl, Ayatres Kevin will be the wicket keeper. Hit but straight to the fielder, Susan Akidi trying to get out of her blocks, but not making any sweet contact. And it's another dot ball. What a start there by Catherine Mbindule.
Again, it's all about knowing the field placements. We've seen her try to play that shot, but there is a fade fielder there. Cut so hard. This will roll to the boundary. The chase is on from the deep. And in the end, Yat couldn't go all the way to the boundary. Nice work done, but the running is really good in the middle to pick up 3 runs. A very powerful shot there.
Yeah, she was good with that shot. Through that cover area to pick up those 3 runs. But brilliant effort there by Kevin Aya down at the long off boundary, running and making sure that she saves Mount St. Henry from conceding a boundary, setting the ball back in quick time.
Mbindule bowling it short and wide. That allowed the batter to free her hands. But now good rotational strike. It is 4 runs with the fielder who did a great job in the deep, covered long and long distances in no time, but the over is done with only 4 runs, and after 7, 23 for the loss of none. Susan Akidi having 13 from 29, rather 26 balls. Now she is on strike. Rather, in the non-strike, and Mercy face off. Now Kwanzi bowling from the school end. Nakian's bowling from the school end.
Jaskovia Nachans is a bowling change. She's come into the attack, replacing Jacqueline Nampamu. That's the single to start off her over. Lake Secondary School has some good bowlers, so they know a score close to 70 will be very defendable. Because Mount St. Henry's have been backing up their chasing, they are defending, but they weren't so good with chasing.
Tell you, even like you said, 70 will be a very good score, and they also back that up. 70 will be a very, very comfortable score for late. But yet again, given that the context of this game being a semi-final, the 70 is a very competitive score. So it's all about Mount St. Henry's at the moment try and get a breakthrough. The wicket of Mercy will be much appreciated. That's the danger battle that they should be looking at to get. But I tell you, she's not an easy peasy that you will just think of picking her wicket. She goes big but not well timed, but beats the field at mid-wicket. A lot of running is done in the middle there for Mount St. Henry. Whenever the left-hander is on strike, forces a field change. Even with the right hand on strike, another field change. So they have to keep aware of the situation. 3 balls with only 3 runs for Nachanzi.
Another chance, a half chance there, not taken by Stacy Nirembe at covers. So Nakidi trying to hit out of her blocks, but she just manages elevation. And in the update from the Gulu main ground, where another semi-final, the semi-final one is in place. Walida High School taking on Sacred Heart Secondary School. Walida won the toss and opted bat first, and they have 48 for 1 after 13 overs. A little short, but creamed straight to Mohindo, I beg your pardon, that's Lamaro Gloria at covers. The other games that are happening, the semi-finals of the plate. Soroti SS won the toss and opted to bowl first against St. Teresa. St. Teresa is 21 for 3, whereas St. James also won the toss and opted bowl first against St. Cornelius SS Kalagala. St. Cornelius has 42 for a loss of 3. As we come to the end of the over, 8 gone and 26 for no loss is the score.
A good over from Nakianzi, and now it will be Bindulet bowl. The 9th over. I tell you, runs haven't really come. late SS's way, because the bowling has really been well. Bindle starting with another ball that is not in the comfortable zones for Mercy. She's trying to look for any ball that she can get under, but with that missed shot forces a field change, deep extra covers down, and that was that she will be looking to get every time, and she will be disappointed that she hasn't gotten under it.
Fortunately, nothing you do take away from the fielders who are doing the work on the boundary for Mount St. Henry's High School. They've been so good with stopping the ball, and their throws have been sharp. No run outs yet, but somehow they have made sure that they don't concede boundaries. Susanna Kid hitting one up in the air, and the catch is taken. Martha Muhindo looked like she was going to squander it away, and in the end she gets hold onto it. Susan Hakidi trying to hit outside her blocks. She doesn't quite time well, and the late secondary school loses the first wicket.
Tell you, she has looked to be in a rush. The previous 4 or 5 balls she faced, we saw one catch that didn't carry to the fielder, and now this time round again trying to go for a big hit, not connecting the ball whatsoever, ending at mid wickets, and the first wicket falls after 8.3 overs, and it will be the breakthrough that Mount St. Henry's will be loving to get. They will need so many of these wickets, because the openers have really done a great job to make sure that they stay in check of that wicket column. But the breakthrough is Bindule, who has picked the first wicket.
In for Light Secondary School is the Victoria Powers player Sarah Tino. She was a reserve in 2024 as the team went for the Under-19 World Cup qualifiers in Kigali. But later on, a year later, her alongside Kevin Amuge handed their debut last year during the Queen Cup. She'll be now coming into bat for Light Secondary School. Too much flight on the offer, and it is a dot ball coming in from Catherine Mbindule. Well, the wicket that Mount St. Henry's needs to stay in the game is the Kongai Massacres wicket, but they'll take everything that comes their way.
I love the fact that they have brought in a short covers, but she goes on the onside, hit so hard. Shatra doing a good job at the boundary. She has been patrolling that region for so long, but good enough for Mount St. Henry's is that they have only right-handers now. The moving around won't be so much of them. The field changes won't be so much, but they have a big hitter and a slow hitter, so that will affect them somehow. They will have to have different field settings for these two batters, and it's Mercy on strike.
Another breather is that now the left-hander is gone, meaning somehow not to be overtaken with the pitch, but we've come to the end of the 9th over, and 29-1 is the score.
Tell you, even looking at the fact that Light SS has gone with Tino Sarah to come in at number 3 instead of using Alio Rita, whom we saw score already 5th in this tournament. I feel they are trying again to make sure that they have one person who can hit the ball and the other who can rotate the strike or keep anchoring. And that's the reason as why Tino Sarah is up there. Nakian's bowling her second. A little bit in the air for a moment, but this is going to the boundary. Chatereke Arnold, rather the field is really been set so well. Fwazi partnering with her fellow teammate. Stop it for only 1 run. It stayed in the air for some long.
Good work there by Muhindo, Martha, and Inamuru for Ulster making sure they stop that one. 2 runs is what the leader, a big up on the late SS takes. 31-1 after 9.1. the passage of play now, trying to start workout again for late. Masetres Kongai going hard. There was a feather, but it's put down by the wicket keeper. She might have been hit by the fingers. Preston Alumansi, but look at the frustration on the face of Kongai Masetres because she knows the batting responsibility and respectable total rate depends on her.
Yeah, there is some turn off the surface for Nachanzi. Bowling it a little bit slowly. Some balls are turning and the others aren't. So Mercy Konge is really perturbed with Nachanzi's bowling. And the wide signal there by the umpire. Not so many since that Shatra's over. Big swing there. Big swing trying to go through the lane of the ball. An extra bounce off the surface there allows Nachanzi to go away with that.
Escovia Nachanzi continue to bowl the good areas. A little shot and hit down the ground. Good stop there by Muhindo Matha in the deep, cutting that one off from going to the boundary. St. Henry's have done a lot of good work on the boundary.
Tell you at the moment, despite not getting so many runs, that's Nachanzi, the bowler in your frame, who has really hit some hard lanes. Because saying despite Mercy not getting so many runs, that her contributions at the moment are not to be underlooked, because she has held her side a little bit, and we know with her skills she can go through the gears and bring the strike rate to about 100 or about 100. But a dot ball finishing up, Nachanzi is over with only 4 runs from it, 33 after 10 overs. For the loss of 1 wicket is the score. 2 batters for late SS, Tino Sara and Konge Mercy, trying to have a little chat and try and see how they should go about the proceedings, how they should apply themselves. And Bindule coming to bowl her third from the Juba Road end. She has picked the only wicket that has fallen. Really too quick to the boundary, but good field placements there. The cow corner and deep mid wickets. You understand that they are playing rather hard on the onside. Even the mid-on is in the middle, but they employ 2 fielders, cow corner and deep mid wickets. Short mid wickets in play. What a fielding change here. No sooner had they put the fielder there than the batter just gave a dolly catch, just moving her too straight towards the lane of the stumps and picking an easy catch. What a fielding masterpiece this has been.
Yeah, the fielding changes there, paying off for Mount. Tino Sara just giving a dolly catch to Stephen Nachanzi. The catch is taken and Mount St. Henry's picks up the 2nd wicket. It's the Skyview Girls Schools Cricket Week tournament happening here in Gulu City for the 2nd consecutive year. This tournament has some partners that came on board to make sure that they help Cricket Uganda in having it a success. Movie Products Limited came on board as hygiene partners, making sure that they have toothpaste, the Movit hand and lemon cream, the Movit family soap are some of the products that they give to all the players and officials who are in this tournament, including us. The other partners are the broadcast partners, making sure that the exciting games of this tournament you can get them at the comfort of your living rooms. School is a logistics partners, also making sure that they will bring so many and gifts for the young girls who are playing cricket. Joyce Mary Arugo, the new batter in for Light Secondary School.
I love the way how Mount St. Henry's orchestrated the last wicket that fell, bringing in a fielder, straight mid-wicket fielder, again floating the ball in the air to lure Sarah into playing from the up and picking up that wicket. It is Mbindule who picks the second wicket, and 8 runs already for her, but picking 2 wickets. Very, very vital wickets she has picked. But there is some attention there from your frame that you're not watching from somewhere. Some attention and some care given to the field at the deep. The umpire making sure that she's okay. A little bit of taping. I think she just she just got a bruise in her fielding because she has really been so good at the boundary. And she's okay. She's on her feet, running into the field.
These two teams are not meeting for the very first time in this tournament. Group B. And the first affair when these two teams met, it was won by Light Secondary School. A half century knock, 54 of 45 from the left-handed batter Joyce Mary Arugo helped Light SS to post 118 for 4 in 20 overs. Mount St. Henry's High School was bowled out for just 23 runs in 8 overs, staging up another exciting clash. And the player who was on form and who was hitting the ball, Arugo, Joyce Mary, is now in for Light Secondary School. Dot ball, some flight offered there by Catherine Mbindule, and that's just dubbed to the fielder.
Arugo getting off the mark of that top edge that lands in the no man's area. But she will be happy that it is Mas who gets on strike. A good over in the making, a wicket in it, 2 runs off the bat. 2 more balls left in this over. Protection at the boundary. Still mid on is in the inner ring. Long extra covers, deep extra covers. Cow corner are the boundary raiders, 3 of them. I doubt why they've only used 3 fielders, but at the moment runs are not coming for Light SS.
Deploy an extra fielder on the boundary just to try and make sure that there is enough protection. Mercy goes, work to do for the fielder, but that goes all the way to the boundary. A bit tossed up by Catherine, and it is hit down to the boundary. That boundary brings up 40 runs for Light Secondary School.
You don't have to give away such boundaries, and it is Mercy trying to control the innings. A good use of the feet. There isn't some protection. There has to be hard yards to cover. Until you are felt for some point that there needed to be a fielder there. The long on should be there. Noel having a long journey and covering much distance. 2 boundaries to finish up the over. Back-to-back falls there allows latest to go to 44. I love the fact that Masi realizing that Bidul is not having so much pace on the ball and is plating it in the air for some time. Good use of the feet there from Masi. Now 11 overs gone. 44 for 2 is the score. Nachanzi will come in to bowl her third over from the school end. Bowling to the left-hander, Arugo, who has only scored 1 run. Tell you, Mount St. Henry's are desperate to picking a wicket of Masi Kongea. And that is called a wide straight away. Arungo trying to get her feet into the game, to keep the blood flowing. Much better lanes there from Nachanzi. I love the fact that Masi was using her feet. It's now a fact that a matter that Arugo should make sure that she brings Masi on strike, not face so many balls. Just face 1 or 2 balls and go on the non-strike and let the set batter come on strike. Again, left alone there, too wide. I love it that she hasn't tried to go or do extra things with the wide-ish deliveries, because they are fielders hanging at the behind the square, the 30. And she's having hard moments now. Nachanzi giving in 3 extras. She had bowled so well, and now she's struggling somehow. 3 wides with only 2 balls. That would mean 3 extra balls to bowl in this over. A little touch there. It will allow them rotate the strike. But most importantly for late secondary school is that it's Masi who gets on strike. I tell you, at the moment, Masi is really trying to get her strike rate high, given that she has 21 from 29. We saw she was really down on the strike rate, but now things are trying to capture up. Good use of the wrist on the onside. The chase is on from the deep. Bindule putting in a dive to stop it for only 2 runs. Quick running between the wickets for these 2 batters. And you can see Resty trying to tell Nachanzi that bowl forward, bowl in front, don't bowl down the leg. It's always easy for the batters to play around their body. And she's really taking the game away from... Oh. Good work there by the fielder that covers, putting her body behind the ball. It was really struck so hard, using her feet to cover the ground, and that means an injury. She stopped the ball at the cost of her hand. And the physio running hard in to come into the field and give attention to Jackie. She bowled so well, and she's bowling with her right. Now being hit so hard. Hopefully she's okay, because she still has some overs to bowl. Bowled only 3. She's left with 1, but had so good economy. An economy of 0.33. Got 2 maidens. And only suffered 1 run. We have a shot, rather break in the play there. such that Jacqueline can get a proper attention. Latest has really had a good start of the game. They didn't lose a wicket until the eighth over. And since then, everything has really worked their way. We are seeing Mercy trying to go through the gears. She's using her feet so well. She's watching the ball so nicely. And the rotation of the strike for her has really been simple. This is up, 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 but poor communication there between the fielders. I feel that they hung and stood flat-footed for long, and that gives Latest another single. A single to finish up the over. 12 overs gone and 52 for 2 is the score. Light Secondary School winning the toss and opting to bat first is seeming to be a very good option that they made. The decision made there by the captain for Light Secondary School is really paying off. The captain, Akelo Ruth, made sure that she wins the toss and straight away said that she's going to bat without hesitations whatsoever. And Jacqueline coming in to bowl her last over. She had a decent over. I feel that it's a right call to make. 2 maidens and only 1 run. But like I said, the left hand, right hand combination has always been so difficult for the batters to, rather the bowlers to bowl to. That would have been a very good ball to the right hander, because it's almost outside off stump. And that's the lane where the ball, rather the coaches will always try and ask you to bowl to top of off. Beautiful shot there, beautiful push from Arugo. The first ball it's a good indication. If you get off the off strike on the first ball, let the set batter to get on strike. Still, they are not going for the deep extra cover, rather the long on. And now there will be 5 fielders at the boundary. 5 fielders outside the inner ring, I think. Because I see even the fine leg. Yeah, the captain notices it so well and makes the change. Otherwise, it would have been a wrong call at that point. Not the best delivery there from Jacqueline, but she will get away with only 1 run. Slower. She's really bowling with brains here, knowing that Mercy would be looking for the balls that have pace on them. This time round, bowling it really slow, dipping into the left, rather right hander. And so much time is taken in the field changes there for Mount St. Henry's. The umpire is concerned about the field changes that they are making. It's always about knowing where you have to be when there is a right hander and where you should be when there is a left hander. So not every time the captain has to be changing the field. Look at Resti Nalumanzi, the wicket keeper, and the captain, rather than the umpire Martin Okoth, will force a field change. She isn't feeling okay. A mama not feeling okay. We saw the physio attending to her, and that will bring the 12th player on the field. It could be a very bad sign for Mount St. Henry's at the moment. Remember, in these games of the playoffs, you field your best players. Hopefully she can be attended to and come back within no time. 55 is the score on board for the loss of 2 wickets. 12.2 overs played. Yesterday, Mount St. Henry's here won against Ginger SS, an 8-time champion of this Girls Schools Week tournament. Were put to a sword by Mount St. Henry's, who haven't played in this tournament for long. They've only played in this tournament twice. This is their second participation, but they put Ginger Senior Secondary School on the sword. Ginger Senior Secondary School Mount St. Henry's posted 66 and lost 7 wickets in the 20, whereas Ginger came into chase and stopped at 52, allowing Mount St. Henry's High School Mukono winning by 14 runs, a victory that meant they will be playing at this stage. And here they are. If they pick up a victory here, they will be in the finals of this tournament the first time. Whereas if Light SS wins today, they will stand a chance of winning this tournament the second time. Nampamu Jacqueline really showing glimpse of masterpiece bowling. 2 maidens and 4 runs. Oh, poor fielding. Oh, that's poor off her own bowling. She had done so well to put the ball in the right areas, but the ball zipping through her legs. She should be disappointed. She's not working so well. Maybe the ball hit her on the knee. It's always hurtful, and it hurts so much when the ball hits in that region. So hard and painful. Two more balls left for Jacqueline, but it's the danger baton strike. Mercy Conger, and Jacqueline here trying to play some main games, withdrawing from her run-up, trying to make sure that she gets the batter thinking once more. Very good stroke there, very good. Defending from the front foot, bat in front of the pad. It's a clear good sign of a good player. No wonder she has 110, the highest individual score in this tournament, against Kasese Secondary School on this very venue. Challenging the outside edge there. A good delivery to finish up the over. What a good spell she has had. 2 maidens and only 5 runs. But this over ending with 4 runs in it. Very much respect for her there. She has really done decently. And I love the fact that the captain has brought her up on at the point where runs were come easily for late aces. She comes and controls once more. After 13:56 for the loss of 2 is the score. We are only 7 runs shy from seeing the first innings done and dusted, but the current run rate of late secondary school being 4.31. And I tell you, Mount St. Henry's should be worried that every run that late SS goes on to add from here could be so hard to chase. Noel Chaterekera coming in to replace Nachanzi. So Nachanzi struggling with a lane in the last over. Nachanzi left hand orthodox there. A little edge there. Jacqueline putting in a chase. And they take the second. Quick running between the middle. Arong really committed to take the second run. She just reaches the non-striker and turns straight away. She's aware of the placements. It was really played fine off the top edge. And again another field change to the right of Jacqueline, rather to the left of Jacqueline. There will be a gap, trying to cover the other gap that the ball went in the previous ball. She leaves much gap between the gully fielder and the point fielder. Another fine placement there can give them 2 runs. Noela bowling left arm orthodox presents not so much of a challenge to the left-hander, but it will be much of a challenge to the right-hander. And I feel this should be used to full opportunity here for Mount St. Henry's at the moment. Cow corner, long on, deep mid wickets, a very wide cow corner. I feel she's not really placed so well because the ball is turning away from them. You don't have to be towards square leg. But losing her lane straight away, bowling it down the leg, and it's a wide indicated there by the umpire. A little touch there. Jacqueline is up to the task, stopping it for a dot ball. Not the best ball that you love to see at the moment, but it turns out to be a dot ball. They will love it that it wasn't hit to the boundary. This time round, there won't be chase on that. Played so fine towards the commentary box and picking up that boundary so easily. The lane hasn't really been so good for Noel. But a boundary to finish up the over. Number 14, 64 for the loss of 2 wickets is the score for late secondary school.
More 6 overs are remaining in this game. And how Mount St. Henry's High School takes on the bowling changes will be very crucial. 64 for 2 after 14. The current run rate is 4.57. Runs are flowing. Going for 8.5 first over. And Catherine Bibli coming to bowl her fine over. She's so far gone for 18 runs and picked up 2 wickets. But she will be hoping that she can make a fine finish. Semi-final number 2 of the Girls Schools Cricket Week. Sponsored by Skyview, Move Products Limited, Schoolies, and Battle Uganda Limited. Beautiful line there being bowled by Catherine Mbindle. Make sure that you're forcing Arugo to hit to the offside, because it sometimes comes out very naturally for the left-handers to hit on the own. So if you're forcing them to play on the offside, it means you're doing really good work for the team.
Another handy bowler for Mount St. Henry's. She has been involved in all the 2 wickets that have fallen. Her lane has really been so good, coming in to bowl her last over, starting so well with 2 dot balls. Another easy push at that. And Arugo trying and intimidate the bowler, stepping forward initially and try and make sure that she takes the bowler off her good lane. Hit so hard on the offside through point to get that boundary. It's only a matter of indication from the umpires, but I think that was played so fine. 4 runs. A really good shot there from Arugo, who hasn't really been so much involved in the run scoring. But all from 17. She has really been so vital. She came in at the moment where 2 wickets had fallen. Her running between the wickets has really been so impressive.
Tells you much about her. 13 of 18. Tracy Kongai also anchoring well. 29 of 36. But from Gulu main ground, where Olida High School is taking on Sacred Heart Secondary School in semi-final 1. Olida High School has posted 95 for 3 in 20 overs. And Sacred Heart will need just 96 if they are to make it to the first semi-final. Hit down the ground with power. Some work to do there for Scovia Nachanzi. A bit of a misfield, giving the batters a chance to take 2.
A good over that has been. 7 runs from 8. And Bindule finishing her 4 allotted overs with only 2 wickets, but only went for 25 runs. She has really contributed so well to this total, picking up the only 2 wickets that have fallen. But 15 done, only 5 left. 71 for the loss of 2.
In the context of this tournament, 71 is already defendable. But the only thing that might happen on this ground is that this ground is one of the true surfaces. Sometimes the ball comes quick off the surface, so it gives the best batting conditions in this tournament. But no, Britain Chatelekela will come back to bowl her second over. Her first went for 8. She will be hoping she can bowl the good areas. Starts with a full one that is dubbed down the ground, but the fielder who is at mid-wicket was standing right at the boundary, right at the 30 yards arc, giving them a chance to take the run.
Yeah, they should understand, Mount St. Henry, is that they should understand that Arugo is trying as much as possible to get Mercy on straight. So everything that they should do is that try and make sure that they don't give that single to Mercy to get on straight. Because for her, she's going to try and take Noel on. There she goes. Good use of the feet. This is played so straight. They should take 2 runs. And they take the 2 runs. This is what she's going to try and do so many times.
And now Mount St. Henry is missing something in the field setup. You need long on and long off down because Mercy is hitting front of the square. Then you also need to make sure that the batters who are front of the square are standing a little straighter. It gives you a chance of cutting off those runs.
big swing, but a good ball there from Chaterke Noela. Getting a dot ball is much appreciated for, because she has really struggled to get those dot balls off Kongea's bowling. But she comes in at the moment where Mercy's trying to go big. She senses that she's only left with 27 balls into this inning, so every run that she adds on board is much appreciated for her side. But if she plays out all the overs, she can pick up a 50 from here. Tell you at the start of this game, the way how the game started, they really had a slow start. Late aces after the power play, they only had 19 for no loss. But later on, they have gone through the gears. After 10 overs, only had 33 for one. But now they are at 75 for the loss of 2 wickets. Shows you that they have applied themselves after the power play. Running between the wickets has really been so good. And you give that much credit to these two batters. 15 for Arugo, and so is 34 for Mercy Kongea. A single to finish up the over. 16 done, 76 for the loss of 2.
Catherine Nimbindo completed her spell, is out of the attack, and Shatra again wrote his back. She so far bowled 3 overs and conceded 18. Now she comes in to bowl her final over, coming in from the road that goes to Juba. Should have been an edge. I think an effort diving forward could have given her a chance of taking that catch. But in the end, beautifully fielded, and it is a dot ball to start off the over.
I tell you, we have seen so many times the ball going that vacant area. But Mount St. Henry's hasn't thought about something to deploy a fielder there, maybe to get that catch. 12 extras bowled in this inning. Get a sense that the bowlers have given out so many, because in at this stage of the game, you have to fight for every run, and 12 extras mean that they have bowled so many for late aces, because you don't expect to give out so many, because you want the score to be as low as possible.
An edge, it is traveling down to fine leg. Gloria Lamaro cutting that one off very nicely. Good fielding there from the young girl.
Now it is Mercy Kongea who is on strike. 34 runs for her from 40 balls, striking at 85, which is not so bad at the moment, because if she faces the last ball, I tell you, she would have gone past that 100 strike rate.
Mercy anchoring the innings very well for late secondary school with the 34. Still hitting out of her blocks. Inside edge. And it is a dot ball, but you look at what she was trying to do. When you look at that area there towards mid on, it's vacant, so everything you hit there gives you a chance to run. She was trying to make sure that she hits one there, but she just managed it an inside edge.
A very beautiful delivery there from Shatra. Pulling it so good that the batter can't get it under. But this time round, up in the air, the chase is on. But it will land in the safe area. Only 2 runs she will get. But again, a hard line there to put away. And she's trying to tell the field that mid-off to try and maybe stay at the 30 because there is always a chance. But a field change effected there. Staying really at the 30, making sure that she gets that chance if it comes once more. One more ball left in this over. Good efforts there. A little hand on the ball, but can't stop the ball from going to the boundary. Kongai finishing the over in style with the boundary, picking 7 runs in that over, 83 after 17, for the loss of only 2 wickets.
At this moment of the game, the runs are flowing for Late Secondary School. What they have is already defendable, given their bowling. Masekongai Tracy already in the 40s. And now there is a bowling change. Nalumans Reste coming to bowl. She will feel undone because she thought the other option of wicket keeping would have been Ayatros Kevin, but Ayatros Kevin is off the pitch because she was injured. And now Gloria Lamaro will be the wicket keeper, but she is more of a stopper. Down in the ground, a creamer. Brilliant fielding there from Agenrod Chatra.
That could have really hurt Resty. The throw wasn't really good to fall for Resty. Most times they tell you throw in the V or 1 bounce, but this time round was really close to Resty's body, and she just puts her legs behind the ball. It's Kongai who is on strike mercy, having a total of 198 runs in this tournament. But Malsa records having the most runs, 257 for Mulira High School. Some field changes here made. No fielder behind the wicket keeper is at the rope, but all of them are in the inner ring. Tell you there is some confusion with the captain there, trying to concentrate on the bowling and again set the field. It's called away there by the umpire. And if you see how Naluma is resting his bowling, she's trying to fall over so much, and that tends to take the ball down the leg.
Lamasetres Kongai making some bit of a shimmy down the track to hit it on the full. I love the fact that Restan Lamas is bowling it where Kongai is, to make sure that the stumps remain in play. Gloria Lamaro doing a lot of good work behind and making some fine stops. Look at that beautiful grab, despite it being a wide, but it shows you that she will come around and get to the ball.
Yeah, she moves down the leg so well, Fausta, to stop that for a dot ball. But I tell you, this is going to be a very long over. Already 2 extra balls bowled.
Much better. That's where the rest should be bowling, because they are not taking her on. When you look at the way these batters were batting, when Mbindule Catherine came to bowl, they tried to take her on. When Scovia Nachans came to bowl, they tried to take her on. But now for Western Elmas, they're trying to just see off her overs. Now she goes, it's a miss hit, but it may roll all the way to the boundary because it goes towards the vacant area. The fielder there, Jacqueline Nampamo, taking her time to grab it, and it rolls to the boundary. The boundary will bring up 90 runs for Late Secondary School.
already in 200 runs for Mercy in this tournament. What a good tournament she's having so far. Only seen one player reaching that total for in this tournament. This is high and long. Is it long? Oh, it is. A beautiful and powerful shot there. She reaches to the 50-run marking style. A half century for her. She's enjoying batting at this ground. She picked 100. She scored 100 against Kasese on this ground. And now she has scored a half century in the semi-final. What a day she's having. And everyone in the dugout is celebrating for her. 50 runs for Mercy Kongai. And he is continuing to do this destructive job.
Now she won't stop. She goes hard again. Now she knows she's already gotten that milestone and she's going hard. Another boundary there. End the over and to bring up 100 runs for late secondary school.
I tell you, going forward with only 12 balls left, I don't see her anywhere trying to come back into playing around along the ground. She's going to try and take on these left 12 balls, and 100 for 2 is on board already. 8 more wickets to come, so every run going forward is much appreciated. This is the total that is much respected, 100 already, but they have a chance to score even 120. It's only a matter of Arugo giving straight to Mercy Kongai. Chaterekera coming to bowl from the Juba Road, and she bowled from the school end the previous 2 overs. Now coming in to bowl from this other end. Just get Mercy on straight. Just get out straight. That's much better. Really much better for Arugo, knowing that that's what she has to do. Get Mercy on straight. Let her go about her business the way she does. Let her go hard after the ball. And it's very good awareness. Single off the first ball. And now to be Noel Chatereka taking on Mercy Kongai, who is showing glimpse of having a big score today.
Full toss and hit down the ground. Shatra again wrote there, does a lot of good work, picks it up very nicely, but they do take on her arm to go for 2.
Another good running between the wickets there. They know that that is a very long field, and the moment even the bowler had the ball in the hands, they take the second. I'm looking at the way how Mercy has bowled. Just try and bowl it wide. Try and bowl it wide. This time round on the onside. The fielder does so great. The ball not carrying to her and only stopping it for 1. They will get a breather for that, because the way how Kongai is trying to take on the bowlers. Whoever ball is coming right now, we think of the way how not to bowl to Kongai. Open blade, trying to take the run. A little bit of mix-up. The throw is to the wrong end. Again, they are committed to take the run. And they take that run. I feel that if the throw was to the right end, or if the throw was completed by the wicket keeper there, she would have maybe thrown back the ball to the bowler's side. But in the end, it is Kongai on strike. 2 more balls left.
The two are showing a lot of interest in taking the runs, but indeed Catherine guilty of not making a proper throw. the throw going to a wrong end and a very poor throw coming in from her. In the end, the run is taken out of her blocks and she goes again. Some elevation, but she doesn't get it so far away. And it is another single for Late Secondary School.
A little bit slow release there from Noel Chaterekera, bowling it. Not so quick, but a little bit slow in the air. And it wasn't so comfortably played by Mercy. But the ball to finish up the over, which is a good over in St. Henry's at the moment. And it will be a dot ball to finish up the over. Mount St. Henry's High School, Mukono now left with 6 balls to bowl. But the question is, who is the bowler to bowl that last over? We saw the captain, Resty, going for many. But they don't have so much liberty of using so many bowlers because they suffered an injury.
Yeah, now she will come to bowl the last over. Nalumansi rested. $106 for 2. The last time these two teams met, so that SS posted 111. How many more can they add on will clearly depend on the bowling for the captain, Reste Nalumansi. Beautifully hit, and it goes all the way for a maximum. What a good pickup shot there from Masetres Kongai. She is using her muscles and flexing.
I tell you, that is the decision that will haunt Mount St. Henry so much. The injury not going their way. But I tell you, Mercy is taking a laking of Nalmanzi's bowling into the slot and hit so hard on the onside. Went so long into the practice nets there. The longest we've seen today, and arguably the longest we've seen in this tournament. And the coach for Late SSD enjoying the moment at this time. And already 64 for the rather 64 from 52 balls. Again, this time round even bigger this time round, into the backyard, into the forest. I tell you, she's looking to be unstoppable. She's really strong on the onside.
Yes, some powerful hits there coming in from Masetres Kongai. Back-to-back sixes to start off the final over. But what a batting innings she's had. She opened the batting for Late Secondary School alongside Susan Akidi. She gave away a few chances, but in the end she's managed to stick back and put innings together. 70 runs now for her as she continues to straight on.
We are waiting for the ball to be collected back in the forest, from the forest. And 70 runs from 53 balls. And now she's striking at over 120. I tell you, every shot she plays, every shot she has played has really been so good to watch, has really been so much interesting to see. She has hit already 3 maximums, 2 biggies out of this ground.
I tell you now, Naluma Express doesn't even know where to pitch the ball because she's been hit 2 sixes over long on and 1 over long off. But she need just make sure that she bowls the good areas. Inside out short, but it will pick out the fielder. Scovia Nachans takes the catch. Somehow a bit of a breather for Mount St. Henry's High School, but Kongai Massachusetts has already done the damage.
That's the lane that was required of Naluman's rested to bowl to. And all along she has really struggled to hit that lane, but what an inning she has had. What a knock she has displayed. A very, very fine hit there from Mercy Kongea. And now she goes back into the dugout knowing that she has done all that she was needed to do. She was requested to come in and bat at the first and face the first ball. She's gone on to score 76. What more can you ask from her?
Indeed, she's done well for Late Secondary School, making sure that they get runs in excess. 78 was already defended, but they are already in the 120s. Akelo Ruth Nanyonjo is the new batter in. She was part of the Olida High School team as they won the Girls Nationals last year. But now she is a player at Late Secondary School. She has also been serving as their captain. And she makes her way to the crease. 2 more deliveries remaining in this innings.
A very good bowler there, Akelo Ruth. I've seen her bowl in Lugogo. Yeah, she came in for her vacation to stay in Lugogo and try and put in yards, training with the senior team, training with the senior players, the likes of Kevin Amuge, the likes of Esther Ilok. And now she comes in at the stage where 2 balls are only left and going straight away with a big swing, not connecting. But the lanes have really improved for Nalumanzi, bowling it wide away from the stumps.
That was supposed to be a plan for her right from the first ball of this over. And 1 more ball remaining for Mount St. Henry's. Akelo swinging hard, but nowhere in the frame. And it will be a dot ball to wrap up the innings. 124 runs. And 125 is what Mount St. Henry's will need if they are to advance to the finals for the very first time in history. What a batting display, what a masterclass there from Light Secondary School in this match. They won the toss and took a bold decision to bat first. And I tell you the decision has paid off because they have gotten 124 runs on board. Solid batting performance there from Mercy Tracy Kongai. She scored 76 of 55. Well supported by a 14 of 31 from Susan Akidi, whereas Joyce Mary Alugo contributed a late 19 of 28. Mount St. Henry is gifting away 14 extras. Kathleen Mbindle with 2 wickets. And Western Alumasi with a lone wicket. And as we come to the end of the first innings, Mount St. Henry's High School will return requiring 125 runs to pick up victory. We have come back for the second innings. The two umpires, Obukol Gloria and Mike Okoth, are right in the middle to see us through this second innings. You somehow feel that Late Secondary School has done enough work in the first innings. 124 is what they have put on board, and Mount St. Henry's will require 125 for victory. It's the second semi-final of the Skyview Girls Schools Cricket Week Tournament. My name is Evan Cyprian Sajabia in the comms, and I'm here with Fortunate Alijuna. Fortunate, welcome back from the break. And what's your take? What should be the plan if Mount St. Henry's stand a chance of picking up victory and advancing to the finals?
Thank you very much, Ivan, for ushering me in. The game was all set at the toss, but the way how Late Aces applied themselves, they played the innings deep. Now love to see Mount St. Henry's try and play out the innings, not try to do so many things because they are chasing 125. All they need to do is look at the first innings, what was done right. The two batters held the innings steadily. They played so well until the last 2 or 3 overs where they went big, and that happened because they had wickets in hand. So if they manage to keep wickets in hand, maybe they can go big, but running between the wickets should be really a big point to make for Mount St. Henry's if they are to pick up this victory chasing 125. Akelo Ruth, the captain, winning the toss and going for the bat first. It has really paid off. 120 is a good score to defend in this semi-final. And she has already started off so well, hitting the hard areas, luring Nalumanzi Resti into playing that cut shot. Not really the best lane that you love to cut. Again, not laning herself so well to play the cut shot. She has pulled some really good pace. Bounce off the surface is really nice. The carry to the wicket keeper is good to watch again. Two balls left in the first over. A very good start for Late Aces. Getting dot balls will mean so much for them, because if you're to see the number of runs required, they are more than the number of balls to be bowled. But that way will start the account for Mount St. Henry's, but not off the mark. I tell you, at the moment the required run rate being at 6.41. And I tell you, if they continue consuming so many balls, the run rate will go fine this time round. With it on offer, goes to the boundary within no time. Timed so perfectly to pick up that boundary, up and over, going over the tall fielders at point and gully. And already into the account is Nalumanzi Resti.
They're breaking the shackles a bit there and bringing up a welcoming boundary for Mount St. Henry's High School. They feel undone. It's Chase Mary Arugo talking to the bowler Akelo Ruth Nanyonjo. That don't give a lot of width. One more play this over, and not a very bad start for Mount St. Henry's High School. They will have to go punch for punch if they pick up something in this game. Plays it late, and it goes down to the boundary. It will be a single trap up the over, and another chance for Western Alumans to face in the next over. 6 of the first.
A very good start. Really, really good start. 6 runs off the first over. Still a little bit behind the required run rate, but that boundary really gives them confidence, especially for Nalumanzi, who has already gotten into her accounts. Now it will be Fausta. So many of the cricket players that have been participating in this tournament watching this game, and so they are at the different grounds. Ulira taking on Sacred Heart at Gulu main ground. So other players have all been distributed all around, choosing their favorite game. But the new bowler
is Achan Zita. Achan Zita was the best bowler during the Skyview Girls Schools Cricket Tournament in 2024. She was previously a student at Madera Girls School, located right in Soroti, who were the hosts for the 2 years that Soroti hosted, but now changing allegiance and coming to Light Secondary School, the Lairas. She starts off her spell with a dot ball. That one rolls onto the pads, and it is a dot ball. There was an appeal of LBW, but the umpire says not out.
Yeah, she's bowling stump to stump there. I feel that she's having more threat to possess to the two batters. Nalumanzi resty on strike right now. Already 5 runs to her name.
Cut away down to the sweeper, and they do take the run. Western Elements playing some bold shots.
That's a really beautiful cricketing shot there. Full toss around the 5th stump, 4th stump, played so well. Most people would see them go for a big heave on the onside, but for her, she sticks to the stroke play, driving it along the ground on the offside. But another extra, make that 2 in this inning. They shouldn't give away so many extras. They need to fight for every run that they are defending, not just chip away those extras. Little foot for Fausta. She's yet to get off the mark. Faced only 1 ball. You know, she likes to hit the ball around.
Whites on the offer there by Achan Zita. Mount St. Henry's High School trying to back themselves up. And they will need a very good start if they pick up victory in this game. Hit. But it's another dot ball. The dot brings us to the end of the over. 9 for no loss after 2. Fausta Namoviru 9 of 3, and Restan Alumansi 6 of 9. 116 more needed in 18 overs for Mount St. Henry's High School pick up victory and advance to the finals. Akelo Ruth back into the attack for Light SS. Starts off with a dot ball. Cleaned her up right into the blocks. Resta Nalumansi beaten completely. And it is the first wicket for Light Secondary School. A very straight ball rolling onto the furniture. And Light Secondary School have the first wicket. 9-1 is what the scoreboard reads after 2.3 overs. Noelo Britain Chatarekera is the new batter in to replace Reston Narumans. Beautiful bowling there from Ruth Akero. It's another dot ball in the over. Light SS bossing this one, and they are showing that they are already on top. It's the Skyview Girls Schools Cricket Week Tournament, and this is semi-final number 2. Another semi-final is happening at Gulu High School ground. But there are also other 2 semi-finals that are happening in the Plate League. Tomorrow we'll be having the final, the Plate final in the morning, and the main cup final in the afternoon. For all the fans who are watching these games, make sure that you subscribe to the Cricket Uganda YouTube page and turn on notifications so that you don't miss. And for all the updates, you can follow us at Cricket Uganda on X, Instagram, Facebook. We also have a WhatsApp channel, and we are on LinkedIn. End of the 3rd over, and 9-1 is the score for Mount St. Henry's High School. Run out chance, but not taken. Zita Achan back into the attack for Light Secondary School. This tournament is sponsored by Skyview, Movit Products Limited, Schoolies, and Batboy Uganda Limited. Full toss. There was an appeal, but the umpire shakes the head and says no. It was too full and right in the arc, hitting arc for Noel Britain Chatterekera, but in the end, Noel not managing to hit that one on. Another short pitched ball just gets to the edge of the blade of Noel Britain Chatterekera. A ball for pulling away and hitting down to the deep mid wicket. Goes unpunished. A hit me ball turns out to be a dot ball. Sliced, and that runs away. Work to do for the fielder. Puts in the dive, but not enough. And it is a boundary. Noel Britain Chatterekera breaks the shackles, and she gets off the mark with that boundary. Trying to punch back for Mount St. Henry's High School. The ball was angling away from them. Sorry, the ball was angling away from the batter. And will it just go to the edge of the blade of Noel Britain Chatterekera. But what a journey they have had. Mount St. Henry's High School It's been so many years since we last saw a school from the Central Region making it to the semi-finals. They got into the tournament with the wild card after Wala SS pulling out because they had topped one of the groups in the Central Region, and they were able to travel to Gulu in terms of resources. They got that slot. And I tell you, Mount St. Henry's High School has used the slot so well. The two big wins that they got yesterday, one against St. John's, the regional champions of the Central, and another in the afternoon against Junior SS, the Nail champions, will be a really good story to talk about. They made it to the finals, I beg your pardon, to the semi-finals. Despite what happens in this game, they have really played with a lot of passion. But we've come to the end of the fourth over, and 14-1 is the score. From semi-final one of the played final, St. Teresa Girls has been bowled out for 60 in 20 overs, and Sorot SS is giving it a chase. But they have 26 for 3, and they need more 35 in 79 to advance to the plate final. The other semi-final is happening between St. James Secondary School and St. Cornelius SS Kalagala. St. James scored 84 for 7 in 20. And St. Cornelius SS Kalagala is 26 for 5. They need more 59 from 69 balls. Whereas the semi-final one, which is happening at the Gulu High School ground, Olida posted 9 for 3 in 20 overs, and Sacred Hearts is 36 for 3 in 13.5. If Olida and Light win, it will be an all-Sorot affair in the finals for the 6th consecutive year. And in the previous 5 years, Olida has managed to win 4 trophies. Whereas Late SS has won only 1 trophy, that trophy which they won in 2024. And something deja vu to talk about is that in 2024, Late SS won the regional trophy from the Eastern region, and they went on and won the nationals. This year they again beat Olida in the regional finals. They came to this tournament as the champions from the Eastern region. So I feel if they get Olida in the finals, it might be a deja vu. Playing a little dead, but the noise is carrying out to the batters, and it is another dot ball.
Tell you, Ivan, they always say that history repeats itself. So if it was the point last time, winning the regionals and taking the championship, even now we can see we are most likely going to see the same results, given how Late SS has played, and you will see how good Olida has played. Even now, Olida is almost poised to reaching the same the finals, and even Late at the moment is proving that it is most likely to advance from this stage to the finals. But one thing that you can't take away from Mount St. Henry's batting is that despite that they are not getting the runs, they will try and play out all the 20 overs. That's how dead they can play. They don't just give up.
And now waits on the offer. That just put a hanging blade. Western Anumas needs to be, I beg your pardon, that's for Western Amubiru. She needs to be cautious. You don't want to let your bat hang, because you can quickly feather. But the dot balls now piling up for Light Secondary School. The total that was posted in the first innings was very psychological. Now it came out stressing.
They haven't gotten a good start that they would love. Mount St. Henry's losing a wicket of the captain, resting Alumanzi, could mean some trouble for Mount St. Henry's. They haven't really been comfortable playing the pace bowlers of late SS, but finishing up the over there with a dot ball. 4 extras bowled in that, and 18 for 1 after 5 is the score. Late SS batting fast in this semi-final one, posting 124, but 14 extras were bowled in that first inning. Now we've already seen 8 extras bowled, so only 8 runs have come from the bat for Mount St. Henry's, and all of them have been boundaries to make them 8 with only 2 singles taken. But a bowling change, Agudo coming from the Juba Road end. Agudo Karen starting with not the best delivery, but what a throw there. The batter had already made her ground. She's really quick in the middle, but the throw was really good. Pinpoint accuracy there from the field at mid-off, rather mid-on. That would mean that you don't have to take on her arm. And I think that would again hold Mount St. Henry's a little bit backward. Agudo Karen has started off so well. That ball straight to the stumps. Not the most express bowler that you'll see from the dugout, but she also has some wheels on her. And this time round, given LBW there for Namobil Fausta. The second wicket falling, and it's Karen who gets the second wicket. Not so much celebrations there from late SS. Someone trying to mimic Fausta's shot there, but muted celebrations, not so well, not so much celebrations. They know they have already gotten something. They've already incurred some harm to Mount St. Henry's. 19 for 2 after 5.2, and the new batter Namirembe coming in at number 4 for Mount St. Henry's. She did so well in the field, stopping the balls around. But now she comes in at the moment where her team needs 106 runs from 14.4. But every bowler for late SS has really been hungry for wickets, hungry for dot balls. They bowled and hit so much of a good lane. Now Karen already picking one. The left-hander Namirembe coming in 2 onto the crease. A slip is put in that cordon. The player on show this evening, Mercy in slip position. A big shot on the on-side, but not quite connected. But I love the intent there from Namirembe. A little bit backwards, a portion there from Agudo Karen. Again rushing her, and this time round the catch is taken. Good field placements there. She offered a shot, similar shot the other time, but didn't carry to that fielder. And this time round, pace on, extra bounce off the surface at a really good angle, not to give the batter room to free up her hands. And the third wicket falling, 2 wickets in this over. And within no time, Namirembe is back into the dugout.
Somehow the innings have felt to get going for Mount St. Henry's High School. The runs that we have gotten in the first over were already defendable for Late Secondary School. And now Mount St. Henry's has failed to respond valiantly. 3 wickets falling, very quick succession and no quick time. And Catherine Mbindule is the new batter in for Mount St. Henry's High School.
She did so well with the ball, Catherine, picking up the 2 wickets that fell, with the other one picked by Naluma Ziresti. But now she comes in. But I love the fact that the captain, Ruth, continuing to use the slip fielder, because there has been an attempt of trying to rush for the ball, pushing the hands around, and the little touch on that shot will always carry to the fielder. And Kongei has stood there for this all over. And a good over. This has been 2 wickets falling. Look at the dances there from the captain. She knows that everything is flowing according to her pace. And it's power play done. 19-3 is the score for Mount St. Henry's at the moment. I tell you, looking at the way how things were in the power after the power play for Late SS, they also didn't have so many runs on board, but good for them, they didn't lose a wicket in the power play. Tino Sara, the most economical bowler in this tournament, having a total of 14 wickets coming into this game. She now comes in to bowl her first over of the day, having an economy of 0.9. She has always dealt with the dot balls. Look at those lanes that she's hitting. Good lanes for the off spinner. And Chaterekera Nola trying to take her on. She has swung so many times but hasn't connected with the ball at any moment. Going across the lane, she has opted to, but 2 fielders behind square, waiting for that top edge. But this time round, up to the task, stopping it. And I tell you, this is what Late SS need at the moment. They need those dot balls. They need those quiet passage of play from Mount St. Henry's. And Tino Sara comes in, and she continues with the dot balls. A maiden to start up with. And it's 7 overs done. 19-3. Kevin came in and picked 2 wickets, and now has been again given the ball to Mindule Catherine, who is also struggling to get off the mark. An open blade there. And the dot ball to start off the over. Tell you, she's trying to go on the onside with an open blade. An edge will fly to the 3rd man. But there is still a fielder at slips. Mercy Conger, a hero in the first innings, scoring 76 runs. So the score come to 124 for Leteses, whereas all other batters were struggling for Leteses. She did so well with the bat. Foul shot there, really foul shot from Mindule, trying to chase after the ball, not aligning herself in a good area, in a good position to play that shot, only committing to the front foot all along. Look at that, stepping forward, stepping away from the ball, and hoping to slap the ball on the offside. She's lucky that there hasn't been a straight ball aimed at the stumps.
The current passage of play shows that it may be just a matter of time, but late secondary school already have one foot into the finals. 124 runs was always a big total and a defendable one, and now they are bowling gold dust. Last time they bowled out Mount St. Henry's for just 28 runs, somehow hitting into the blocks and making sure that they somehow put some runs. But what a tournament they've had, Mount St. Henry's High School defying all odds and making sure that they take a lot of excitement and joy to the Central Region. It's been so long since we last saw a Central Region team making it to the semis. They started with a win over the Central Region finals yesterday in the morning, St. John's, and later on they capped off the day with an even sweeter win as they defeated Ginger Secondary School.
I tell you, it will be a very big statement for them, given that they had earlier not made it to this tournament, but now coming into this tournament and playing the semi-finals. It's really good. Tino Sarah to Noel, pushing a little bit along the ground, and she rotates the strikes so well. But in the event of making that run, she was hit by the ball on the thigh, and she goes down at the non-striker's end, and the physio will have to be called onto the field. She was caught ball watching somewhere. Rather, she was caught off guard by that, and the pad goes off. The umpires making sure that the players are really fit for play. ...103 runs required, with a required run rate mounting to 8.7. Only 22 runs on board. Look at the scoreboard, rather the scorers, and the fans, rather the dugout for Late SS, whereas most of them are in the middle here. But the coach for Late SS in your frame there, watching on how things are unfolding for Late SS at the moment, controlling the innings, piling more pressure every time every bowler has caught the ball. Now Tino Sarah, she's among the most wicket takers in this tournament, but the best economies. She's a really good bowler to watch. She has been at the big stage, so playing in this tournament wouldn't give her so much of complications. But it has really taken long for Noel to come back on. for play to continue, for play to resume. I tell you, such hiccups in play can always go bad in the batter side. They tend to drop the concentration levels for the batter. The batter tends to think a little bit astray from the game, and hopefully it hasn't been the same with Chatirikira Noel and Mbindule Catherine. Going for a sweep shot there, but with such a wicket that is bouncing so much, you don't always expect the ball ending at the stumps. That's put down. That's put down by the waiting fielder at mid wickets. Diving forward, she did so well on the first attempt, but on the rebound, she couldn't hold on to the ball. Look at this bowling from Tinosara. She's moving the balls around like chess pieces, bowling them straight, bowling them outside the lane of the wicket, and she has been so consistent and kept the batters thinking.
She's yet to get into the wickets column, but as we come to the end of the over, 23 for 3 is the score after 9 overs.
Chatirikira Noel facing 20 balls, and Mbindule scoring 2 from 9 balls. They have really been so quiet, really so silent, but it's all because of the bowlers from late SS. The new bowler, Aliyo, coming in to bowl the 10th over. Top edge, which doesn't carry to a short cover field, a little bit wide towards mid wickets, not straighter. Aliyo Rita fighting it a little bit in the air. Too full on this occasion, but the batter is helpless there to not get a run off that. Oh, almost carried to that short cover field. Almost carried 2 times. We've seen the ball not carrying to the fielder, but great efforts there to try and dive towards the ball. But this time round she will get off straight, but that won't hurt late at any way, in any way possible, because they are controlling everything at the moment. The runs they have controlled for Mount St. Henry's. And it's a dot ball to finish up the over. 10 done, and it's only 24 for the loss of 3. 16 wickets total for Tino Sara. The leading wicket taker, Nampera Sonia, having 21. But Tino Sara continuing. Pardon me, Anyait this time round replacing Tino Sara. I love the fact the way how Latest has shuffled their bowlers around. Though this is really bad for Latest. They would have picked that run out, but the fielder not aligning with the ball so well, trying to pick it, not putting her knee down, allows Catherine to get the 2 runs. They push along the ground. I feel it was a chance to be taken. Again trying to get off straight. Oh, a misfield, no backup. Even the backup again, but lets the ball go past her. Teddy Anyait coming in to bowl, and she has already suffered 3 runs. That will be a very, very soft dismissal there. Teddy Anyait comes in and picks the 4th wicket. Very easy by the wicket keeper. Very easily done there. A top edge ending in the gloves of the wicket keeper. Akidi Susan doing a decent job. She was also involved in that run, rather batting display for Latest. Now behind the stumps, she's doing a decent job. Not so many extras behind the stumps from her. She has really been so crucial. Nakianzi coming in at number 6. For the 3rd consecutive year, Skyview continues to lead with its sponsorship, support that has even extended this year. They are joined by other key partners, including Movit as the hygiene partners, Batboard Uganda Limited as the broadcast partners, and Skuri as the logistic partners. Nakian's coming in. 1 ball left for Teddy, and it's a dot ball to finish up the over. 11 done. 27 for the loss of 4. We talked about the last time these 2 teams met. Mount St. Henry's High School was bowled out for only 28 runs. Now they are only 1 run short from going past that total. And now they are only 28 runs from the 11.1 overs. Alio, the bowler, continuing from the Juba Road end. She had a decent over pick, no wicket, but went for only 2 runs. Oh, another pine there in the middle. Alio being hit on the body, on the legs by the ball. The physio is running on. We've seen so many of those today. But she's a strong lady. Doesn't want to waste so much time. Rita up on her feet and ready to bowl her third ball, rather her second ball.
And the news coming in from Gulu main ground is that Olida High School has already advanced to the finals after beating Sacred Heart Secondary School by 30 runs. Sacred Heart reaching the semi-finals of this tournament for the third time, but they are yet to make an appearance into the finals. Olida, the defending champions, are already waiting for whoever will win here, but it will be a miracle of very big margin for St. Henry's or Mount St. Henry's High School to pick up victory.
Cross the line to fall to get under it. And she's lucky that there was a little bit of extra bounce off the surface. That's a much promising shot from Bindule. One more ball left for Rita. And bowls it so well, challenging the outside edge. Some little bit of turn off the surface, but good over it has been. 12 runs, rather 12 overs done. 29 for the loss of 4. 96 runs required in 8 overs. Now the required run rate goes to 12 and over.
I tell you, the required run rate will keep shooting up, and it's already a tall order for Mount St. Henry's High School to pick up victory. Just 8 more overs remaining in this match, but the current passage of play is that late SS will be clinching a spot into the finals. 96 more needed, very many, but there is a bowling change in the attack. Teddy Anyait replacing Tino Sarah from the school end.
With it finishing up the over there with the dot ball. 13 overs done. 23, rather 32 for the loss of 4. Seven overs left in this inning with 93 runs, but it is Rita to continue from the Juba Road end. She has bowled decently. Oh my, it's not even Rita to continue. Kulume coming in to replace Rita. She was hit by the ball, but I don't think that's the fact that she has been changed around. They all have the similar action there. Bowling leg spin. Tossing the ball up in the air. Kulume Ruth. Really bowling some good lines there. Like I said, Bandule not looking so well, trying to play on the offside. Every time she has capitalized going on the offside, but this time round, hard down the ground over the bowler's head, and she will pick up a boundary. 2 full, 2 straight, and played 2 straight as well. A welcoming boundary there for Mbindule. She has really been quiet in there, facing 27 balls, but that will be a much appreciated boundary. They will need a couple of those boundaries to get to 88 runs that are required in 6.2.
Yeah, somehow the fielders were standing in the inner circle, and when he immediately got it off past the bowler, she picked up that boundary. She goes again, but this time around the ball is drifting away from her. That one.
I would love to see the wicket keeper stand behind the stumps fully. On so many occasions we've seen being pulled out of the crease. Look at that hand leg, not fully placed in the crease. But they will take that run as well. A single to finish up the over. And after 14, 38 for the loss of 4 wickets. Love the way how rather late SS bowlers have bowled. They have really been so good with the ball. They have hit the right areas, bowled so many dot balls, and everyone that has caught onto the ball has given it so much. And it's the reason as to why after 14 the score only reads 28, but 4 wickets falling. The bowling change there from the school end. Comes in a pace bowler, not this time round a rather slow bowler, trying to make sure that they use the bowlers in a right way. There's only 6 overs left. Look at that way. Look at the way how she's playing, Catherine. So a powerful shot down the ground, but we haven't seen so impressive shots on the offside. Every time she has played with a horizontal bat, and somehow you feel that if she goes with a vertical bat with so much gap on the offside, mid-off is in the circle, short covers with pace on the ball, you stand a chance of rolling the ball to the boundary. Direct hit, she goes. Beautiful back up there. Really beautiful at covers. Direct hit was really much needed, but the throw was really quick. Good fielding overall for Light SS.
Yeah, Light SS will need to field well so that they carry the same momentum tomorrow afternoon in the finals, just in case they do make it to the finals. And someone like Chanzi Scovia and Catherine Mbidule are still putting up a show, and they are making sure that they keep milking the runs. That single will bring up the 40 runs for Mount St. Henry's High School. Well, it could be a loss for them, but then you need to lose honorably.
Another hard line there to finish up the over for Kulume. after 15, 40 for 4 is the score. 85 runs required in the next 5 overs. Required run rate mounting to 17 and over. Looking at the number of dot balls that were bowled, that have been bowled so far for late aces. .69 dot balls bowled. Beautiful sweep shot there for Nakyanzi. Played it so well, waited onto that ball and played it with full control. A very slow bowler, Kulme. Piston round along the ground. But won't get 1 run. Kulme is doing decently, despite going for 6 in the first over. But now the good shot on the offside from Catherine, contributing for 10 from 35 at first stage. That brings it to 16 from 36. 16 from 36. But it is Nachanzi trying to bounce down the ground, play down the pad, with the pad rather horizontal shot. Not connecting this time round. Kulme Martha. They only get 1. Good. With the throw from the tip. Not the best throw that you would love. They will take 2 runs. 2 runs for Nakyanzi. But the lane hasn't been great for Kulme Martha. Has chipped in a little bit of this for Wiggins. Better one. Very full ball. Picking up the over. 16 down, 44 for 4. Scoreboard. 81 required in the next 4 overs. Now it's 20.25. I tell you now, everyone in the dugout for Ulira, rather late aces, is starting to dance on their shoes because they know now mathematically it's very possible, but with how things are at the moment, it's very impossible to pick up the victory. And now with that catch brings to an end of Catherine's inning. She has tried to play an inning where she hasn't been aggressive but tried to hold her wicket, but she will have to bat with only 15 runs, 5 wickets falling. Ginger Senior Secondary School girls watching from outside the boundaries. They suffered a loss against this similar team, Mount St. Henry's. Now you don't know which team they are supporting now, or maybe perhaps they are supporting good cricket. Five more wickets to pick, but more so for Mount St. Henry's High School. They need 61 runs to pick up the victory. They are throwing every blow towards Mount St. Henry's is late aces. They have really been relentless, hitting the good lanes, picking the wickets, not allowing the partnership to grow. And now it's the new batter, again Roth Shatra. She was really good with the ball in the first innings. Came and bowled decently in the power play. And now she comes in at number 7. Struggling to get off the mark, but she will this time round. Tell you that was a really quick run taken there. And it was led to be because of that misfield at mid-off. Why do you always have to go on the onside? Why do you always have to go on the offside? And when you're playing like that, it's always about how long can you survive a full ball. Not so convincing there from Nakyanzi every time trying to go on the onside. But a very good over there for Tino Sara, picking up a wicket and giving away only 1 run. She now has 17 wickets, chasing Sonia at the top, who has 18 wickets, rather 21 wickets. And after 17, 4-5 for 5 is the score. 80 runs required in 3 overs. 18 balls to be specific to get 80 runs. Even the world's finishers can't be comfortable chasing this score. Good lines there from Alio. Rita, she came in and bowled 2 and only went for 3. Now coming in to bowl her 3rd. A bit in the air and the chance completed by the captain. A little bit of turn off the surface. The captain is celebrating. So much excitement there for the captain, Akel Ruth. She did so much stretching on her left, rather her right, and holding that ball from over her head. A really good grab at slip there. The slip fielder has been there for so long, so quiet. And that is always what happens when you're fielding in slip. You don't expect the ball to come at any moment, but you're always hoping for the ball to come. And they are always the hopes that keep players into the game. A new batter comes in, 6 wickets down, 45 for 6 is the score on board. A new batter, Ava, coming in. Straight away she goes across the line. So daring for Sarah, rather Rita, to bowl it straight. Not try to get the turn, because we've seen so many shots have been attempted to the onside. And at the moment, I wonder why they have kept the deep extra covers in play. Because ideally there won't be any ball going to that deep extra cover fielder. And another good over, a maiden over, but most importantly with a wicket in it. Into the penultimate over. Look at the dugout there for Mount St. Henry's. The batters coming in. Jacqueline already padded on. But they don't have so much hope, because they need 40 runs and over. And now it has gone into the impossibles. 40 runs and over mathematically is also impossible. And it will be Tino Sara already having a wicket. Across the line she goes with a sweep shot, connects so well and gets away with it. Nakyanzi has swept so well so far. she did bowl so well. But now we are not looking at her bowling prowess. We are looking at her batting prowess. Another hard line there from Tino Sara. And it is the reason as to why she is the most economical bowler in this tournament. An economy of 0.94 before this game. And look at her figures now, bowling her fourth, only going for 4 runs. The penultimate over with 3 balls left. You don't see so much of that from Tino Sara. But the umpire trying to intervene there. They have to do the courtesy and routine check. When the ball hits the helmet, they go for the concussion test. The helmet has always to go off. They ask you 1 or 2 questions. Maybe what's the date today? Which team are you playing against? And now that they are playing against, latest as if you mention Ginger, the team you played yesterday, straight away you are rushed into the hospital. But good enough, the concussion test has been passed by Aye. But she's struggling to get off the mark, Aya. Tino Sara continuing to get those dot balls. Oh, look at that. Look at that going on the back foot. The ball not to be played on the back foot. Too full. No, the shortest balls you will see. But it's another dot ball. 1 run gotten in the penultimate over. Only 1 run in the penultimate over brings the total to 46 for 6. And now 79 runs required in the last over. It is done here for Mount St. Henry's. They don't hope to pull this one over. And it is Alio trying to take the catch. It is for the captain, Ruth. She judges the ball so early and goes past the wicket keeper to complete that catch. She's very happy and so ecstatic in the field. And the second wicket for Alio. Rita, who has bowled so well. And it is 7 wickets down for Mount St. Henry's High School Mukono for only 46 runs on board. 79 more runs required. I feel I don't even have to speak about the deficit because it's now very impossible to pull this one off. Late SS will be advancing to the finals tomorrow in the afternoon to play against Olira. 2 teams coming from the same region. The Soroti Cricket Academy, they are doing a great job. But the new batter going on strike, Nampamu, going for a sweep shot there and connecting it so well. A little bit behind, and they will take 1 run. It doesn't affect them whatsoever. It only reduces the margin with which Mount St. Henry's loses this game. Jacqueline plays it so well. So the second time she has played the sweep shot and it has paid off with her. Paid off for her. She is at 2 now. Jacqueline 2 from 2, but Aya on strike, advancing down the ground. The wicket keeper doing the rest of the work. They don't even have to appeal for that. The wicket keeper, Susan, was Susan was standing rather farther behind the stumps, and she got some bruises for that. A good stamping in the end. The third wicket falling for Rita. Aliyo doing a great job. Only 6 runs she has suffered. 49 for 8 is the score. Mohindo Martha coming in at number 10. What can she do with only 1 ball left? Now everyone's thought for Late High School is about how are they going to play against Olira. Their focus is not on the game even at the moment. Soccer's in the field, everyone is excited. The captain still keeping her position at slip cordon. See the celebrations there from the wicketkeeper. She has done a decent job. Got that stamping effectively done by the wicketkeeper. 1 more ball left. Martha trying to go for a big booming drive. She doesn't connect with it whatsoever. But what a good display has it been for Late Aces, picking up the victory, advancing to the finals for the 2nd consecutive time. And everyone in the dugout for Late Aces, everyone on the field for Late Aces, jubilating, laughing, celebrating, because they know they are only 1 step to picking their their 2nd championship of this girls schools week tournament, having been the victors in 2024 in Soroti. Now they stand a chance to avenge their loss against Olira in the finals last year in this same city. But it's only a matter of time. Tomorrow the curtains come down. The curtains go down in style. 2 teams from the Soroti Cricketing Academy taking on each other. We will be having the finals in the evening, but the finals for the placement group will be in the morning tomorrow. Same ground here, same time like the games have been. But what a show it has been. Late Secondary School winning by 75 runs. A very dominant performance there. Mount St. Henry's High School Mukono scorecard there. Nalumanzi Resti contributing 6 from 12. Mbindule Catherine also contributing 15 from 38 balls, whereas the other batters contributed single digits. Nakianzi Scovia scoring 9 there. But Late SS really did so well in their bowling. Akelo Ruth led from the front, 1 maiden, 6 runs, but picking 1 wicket of the captain resting, captain to captain there. Agudu Karen also picked 2 wickets. But so the pick of the bowlers was Alio Ruth, who picked 3 wickets. And Matt Samari, Mary Kongea scoring 76 runs from 55 balls. Joyce Mary contributing 19 from 28, and also Akide Susan contributing 14 from 31. Pick of the bowlers from Mount St. Henry's side was Catherine, who picked 2 wickets. Resti also picked 1 wicket, but was so expensive, going for 35 in the 2 overs. And Mount St. Henry's didn't have a very good day with the bat. Catherine only scoring 15 from 35, and late seniors, rather late secondary school, late high school, emerging the victors with 72 runs. What a good margin, what a dominant performance it has been. And now they emerge into this stage, the semi-finals, going to the finals tomorrow. And my name is Aljuna Fortunate, and on behalf of the commentary team, I was with Ivan Sajabi. I sign out until tomorrow. We come for the finals tomorrow. Thank you and have a good time.